today we're going to be taking a look at a 4K AI powered webcam from Obsbot. You guys may remember Obsbot. We've done quite a few videos with them. They have really cool auto tracking webcams, mostly made for like meetings. So if you want to take your meeting cam to the next level, 4K UHD, it's about $119. So, and it's called the Meet Flip. The reason it's called a flip is you can actually flip it closed for privacy, and it just puts a physical barrier over the camera and the microphone. That's pretty cool. I like that. Let's go ahead and get it open, see what it's all about. All right, flip to meet, 4K to lead. Look at it. Oh, I love Obsbot cameras. They're always so tiny and cute. It's so tiny. This is way smaller than I expected it to be. This thing's supposed to be a 4K UHD camera, huh? Yo, look at that. That's it, bro. You just clip it onto your monitor. It weighs like nothing. A little Type-C port on the back. You just hang it on your monitor, or it's got a little thread so you can put it on like a mount. All right, let's see what else comes in the box. But like whenever you want privacy, just boom, fold the entire camera. And the Type-C is plugged in here, so you don't have to worry about the cable moving. In case you don't have Type-C ports on your motherboard, there's a little adapter to change it to Type-A, and you're good to go. And there's really no quality loss or speed loss or anything like that through these. It works pretty well with one of these on. I used it for a long time. Okay, so that's everything. Look at this little guy. First impression, I love it. All I want to do now is plug it into my computer and use it. So I want to show you guys how to set it up officially. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to set it up on the computer for your meetings or whatever. All right, this is it. This is me. I'd say it's a pretty dang good camera, dude. Like, straight up. The main thing that I like about Obsbot is honestly like the color clarity. I want to show you guys real quick how to add it as a camera in OBS if you're interested in like recording and whatnot. So you come over here, you be in your scene, and you can come here, you can add a source and go to video capture device, hit OK, and then on device, you'll see Obsbot Meet Flip, and just hit OK. You can come in here and check the different resolution types. It goes all the way up to 3840 by 2160, but we'll just leave it device default. Hit OK, and there you go. You have your camera added. I can't really get the software pulled up right now because it's such a new product. I mean, it hasn't been added to the Obsbot Center app yet. Some of the gesture controls look like they work. Like if you do one of these, then it should turn tracking on. There it is. Yo, that's so cool. That works really well for a camera that doesn't even move at all. And you can do one of these. My mic arm's kind of in the way, but zoom. You could zoom. You could do a quick zoom, and you could set this to whatever setting you want. So if you want to do like a 1x or a 4x, then you just and then do a little L and it'll zoom back out. You can also pinch to zoom, and then you could just pinch to zoom. That's pretty cool, huh? Admit it. Admit it. Nice. I think the L is just a little bit quicker, to be honest. It's kind of cool just telling your camera what to do with just hand motions. I find that hilarious. So it can do a whole bunch of stuff, man. Let's I want to show you guys how to set it up on like Discord. They said it's a really good meeting camera, so I kind of want to see. I'll show you guys. I mean, that's where I have my meetings, so hopefully I don't dox myself here. When you open up Discord, you're gonna see Noodle Nick right here, and you're gonna go ahead and hit user settings, and then you're gonna hit voice and video. You're gonna change your camera right here, and you're gonna hit Obsbot Meet Flip. And then that's it. And then when you go to make a call, if you go to one of your conversations on Discord, you click on the person, and then you come up here and you hit start video call. Once you set up that, then the video will just come straight through here. It's pretty easy. So that's Discord. Real quick, now I'm just going to switch over to the built-in mic on the Obsbot just to hear what that sounds like. So give me 1 second. Okay, so this is the built-in mic on Obsbot. I'm sitting, I don't know, anywhere between 12 to 18 inches away. Pretty typical. I guess my mic is kind of in the way a bit. But, you know, this kind of frees you for meetings if you don't want to use a mic that kind of covers up your face a little bit. Anyways, this is the built-in mic. I could probably sit a little bit closer to it. It's a little bit farther away. I mean, this is kind of the quality that you would expect if you use the built-in mic. Otherwise, you know, you can always explore other opportunities. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about the specs on this thing. So it comes with a thing called AI Magic Notes. Essentially, you can take a meeting or a recording and turn it into a transcript through the app. It does up to 4K UHD with a 1/2 inch sensor sensor. AI auto framing, of course, we already covered that. And it also has 4 dedicated mic modes inside the app, and it's an intelligent dual mic system. Super light, only weighs about 37 grams. The quality officially, it can do 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 60. It has a wide aperture, which kind of helps pull in more light, which is why it does so well in low light conditions. And it has a wide ISO range, which is color temp range, and that's anywhere from 100 to 6400. Both of those kind of mixed together helps the performance in low light conditions. So it also has HDR mode, so if you're interested in making the colors look a lot brighter and stuff like that, HDR mode comes on default, so you're kind of looking at me through HDR mode right now. The autofocus is a specific technology. It's called phase detection autofocus, or PDAF for short. It's an advanced camera focusing method, and basically what it does is it splits light coming in into 2 different images and kind of compares them. Basically what these do is it eliminates that kind of hunting where it's kind of like trying to focus on something and then it blurs, and then it kind of gets rid of all that. So that's kind of the next step when it comes to autofocus, is phase detection autofocus. So it's got that, and it also has a 4x digital zoom. For the audio modes, it's an intelligent dual mic system, and the 4 modes that it comes with, it has a directional mode, dual directional mode, smart omni mode, and pure audio mode. It also has auto gain and AI noise reduction tied into all 4 of those modes, except pure audio mode. All that kind of stuff, the AI built in kind of helps it just smooth everything over and make up for that performance loss when it comes to the size of the camera and stuff like that. And of course, it's compatible with all major meeting platforms like Google Meet, Skype, Zoom, Teams, and you can use it with the Elgato Stream Deck. So if you just want to have a plug-in where you could turn it on and off, or you can turn tracking on and off at the touch of a button instead of using your gesture controls or using the software, you can also use it with the Elgato Steam Deck. And it even works as a camera for the Switch 2. And that's pretty much it for the specs. I have every light in here turned off except for like my PC and my sign. And I used to stream just like this, and it looks really good, dude. Compared to another camera, I turned off every light in here except my Noodle sign, and my PC is on. But that's literally it. Yeah, this is kind of like a vibe, you know? Like literally my studio lights are all off. Everything's off. My ring lights are off. I would typically sit in here in the dark, maybe once I got tired of it, or I'd put my ring lights on and have all the rest of the lights just turned down. And dude, this thing just freaking adjusts. But yeah, right here, that's a sweet spot for streaming, dude. You just have the, dark background, but it's just so good, man. Obsbot was good times. I have one still right here. Really fast autofocus. But yeah, dude, this thing saved my life. I used to use this one a lot. If you want one that's really good for like auto tracking, that can like rotate on a gimbal and can track you all the way over there. I made a video on that if you want to check it out. Obsbot makes a lot of really cool stuff, and it's pretty good, pretty high quality. They do always keep privacy in mind. There's always like a 15-minute shut off mode or some sort of way to turn off the camera and to shut it down without having to fully unplug it from your computer. I don't know. Any company that takes that into consideration is a +1 in my book, honestly, because peace of mind is just huge these days, So I really appreciate Obsbot does something like that. Hello, it's me, your boy. So I finally have access to the updated software. So I want to talk about that for a few minutes and show you guys. I really like Obsbot software, and I love using Obsbot as a hand cam. And I used Obsbot camera for years, and their software is just very nice. So you can do a couple things here. There's auto framing. Turn auto framing on for single close up. This is group mode. You can do upper body or single close up, depending on your needs. We can also turn auto framing off and do it manually. Manual zoom. See if that'll work. Okay, that works. All right. So you can go up to 4x zoom. Good to know. Nobody wants to see me this close up though. There's also 3 distinct settings. You could do wide, medium, narrow. We can move it. Even though this camera is completely stationary, you could still move it like it's a gimbal. I like that. Okay, looks like narrow goes to 1.42 times. But if you want that perfect framing, not bad. You can adjust it manually as well. Let me turn auto framing and do upper body and just walk around. My chair is gonna tip over. Hey dude, that's not bad. This thing literally isn't moving. That's pretty cool. I think we'll just keep it on the single close-up and just let it go. Also up here you have your video preview, and you have your sleep in case you wanted to go to sleep with just a button instead of flipping it down. The software has built-in recording capabilities. There's also a virtual camera. Beauty mode. There's AI magic notes and overlay. There's a remote control, global hotkeys, avatar, loop. There's a bunch of stuff up here on this. This is like the quick menu sort of, but in here we got some image settings so we can turn on HDR. Like I said, if you have like a colored sign or like, you know, LEDs behind you, then HDR helps make them look a little bit better in my opinion. I like to leave autofocus on, but you can also lock it in yourself if you prefer, but I just leave it on because I move around a lot. Okay, so if you want to use it for a hand cam, then I'd recommend global. Otherwise, if you use it for a regular camera, face will keep it nice and focused on your face. Exposure, I like to leave that on auto. It can also do exposure based on, you know, your entire surroundings or just your face. I like the face one because I'm using it for just a regular camera right now. There's ISO upper and lower limit, 100 to 12,800. You can go 60 hertz for anti-flicker. I don't know why I'm waving my hand. If you have LEDs, some LEDs have a flicker depending on their frequency. When you pick it up on a camera, background lighting, sometimes it'll have a flicker. Or if you have sometimes like the LED lights that are built into your house typically do that. You turn that on in case you have an issue with that, which I don't have, so I'll leave that off. And I like to leave white balance on auto as well. The one thing that's nice about Obsbot is that like the auto settings really do work on this. Their software is like some of the best straight up. If you just want a camera to just plug in and it's easy and it makes you look good, I mean, this thing's cheap as hell and it still looks good. And you know, you could turn the contrast up a tiny little bit, maybe a little bit up on the saturation, couple on the sharpness, give you that little bit of extra oomph, you know. Okay, then there's some more settings. You could do auto sleep. I'll do like 10-minute auto sleep, you know what I mean? So if it's not being in use for 10 minutes and you forget to flip it down, it'll turn off on its own. There's a sleep background. Oh, that's cool. And you can add one yourself as well. Sleep background mirror. These are the gesture controls that we went over. So there's your hand gesture, the open hand, which is to enter and exit auto framing. So now auto framing off. And you can turn it back on and it'll follow you. And then same with the zoom. When you, like when I showed you earlier, when you hit L or when you make a L with your hand, and it'll zoom in or out. If you want it to zoom in like 4 times when you make a L, then you could just set it to that and you get your 4 times. But then you got to make an L in there. And we're back, baby. Or if you want it not as aggressive, you just make it a small zoom. But that's boring. Then we have some audio settings here. We have directional audio. I think I'm still zoomed in a bit. It also comes with an intelligent dual mic system. Speaking of audio, it has an omnidirectional microphone and a directional microphone, so it can kind of pick up audio pointed right at you, and it can also pick up audio really well all around the room. Microphone status during sleep. Obviously you want that off during sleep. There's no reason to have that on while it's sleeping. You can also have it disable microphone completely. If you want to use this for the switch 2, you can do it. You just have to turn this on, switch 2 mode. There's mirror image as well. Indicator status, that's the little, when I go to make an L with my finger or anything like that, there's a little light on the front of the camera that flashes, letting me know that it did indeed hear me and it's going to follow my commands. So that's very nice. I like to leave that on. And then you have record function. Obviously you could just record videos through the app, and if you don't like using OBS, you could just do it through here. There's also a virtual camera. I don't want to click on that in the middle of me recording because I don't know what that's going to do. I remember I covered this pretty extensively in one of my Obsbot videos. You can even like add makeup to yourself, change the shape of your face completely, basically add sliders to yourself in real life like it's a video game. If that's something you're interested in, and you can do a background replacement. See, it's not really going to show while I'm recording, but there's a couple different backgrounds you can choose, like a nice house or like a green field with some trees, a little office setting. You can add your own backgrounds. You could do a green screen. Yeah, none of this will work while the camera's occupied, but it's got a bunch of built-in stuff. It's really, really close in function to OBS, just a little bit more simple. Easier to use, I think, for beginners. Also, you can connect multiple Obsbot cameras. So like back in the day, I had 2 of these. One was my tracking camera that I used, the gimbal one that I used for my main face cam, and then I had a hand cam also, so I had 2 of these up on here. Really easy to switch between them both. You just come up here and click that one. Anyways, that was the software. A little bit of a summary on that bad boy. Works pretty well. There's a lot of different functions. It essentially functions as like a mini OBS, like a recording studio, and you can change all the settings on your camera. And what I've noticed is that it works really well in addition to OBS. Although, you know, of course I couldn't show some of the features while I was running in OBS. compared to other webcams, there's some webcams where I go to adjust the software and I have it running in OBS and it straight up won't do anything at all. Like I wouldn't have even been able to like change the focus mode or like the saturation or anything like that. It just won't work. I have to like fully shut down OBS and then open this up, make an adjustment, and then come back into OBS and be like, oh yeah, I think that looks okay. You know, it's nice to be able to use this while OBS is open in the middle of a recording or in the middle of a stream. To be able to make a quick change on the fly of your quality level is extremely useful. I think a lot of people struggle with their camera and adjusting it. And I think that Obsbot is just one of those cameras that are just really easy. It's really easy to figure out. It's not like old school back in the day where you needed like a HDMI cable and a transmitter and you need to be plugged into the wall and this and that. Like this is just a 4K 30 camera, 4K. Look at this quality. This camera is so good. And it's so tiny, and you don't need no DSLR strapped up to the back of your desk anymore. Technology has come a long way, so definitely check it out. And that's pretty much it, man. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm turning you guys off. Peace.